Morgan, if you want to start, can you tell me a little bit about, how this performance came to be?
Um, sort of serendipitous. Uh, Eric was in Washington State, uh, I guess Seattle, right?
Yep.
And he heard a group uh, performing with an orchestral background. Am I right?
Yeah, it was Grace. It was a hip hop band out of Australia that's done a fusion with symphonies, and had a chance to chat with them on the concept. Morgan, Howard, and I, at the time, Bill Luckett, who's since deceased, had the club in Mississippi. And so I said, why don't we prototype and see if we can do something akin to that by taking blues musicians with symphonies. And we piloted this in Savannah, and then we were invited to come do it in Dublin, Ireland. And then we did the same thing over in Austria, and all had tremendous success. And so the three of us said, we may have the beginnings of a show. And so let's take
Seed
this
of
crazy
something.
idea. Yeah, let's take
Yeah.
this crazy idea and see it can work. And if you fast forward today, we've got about 25 performances booked around the United States now.
I'm curious what you all have found, how blues lends itself to an orchestra type performance, and how an orchestra type performance lends itself to blues, in building the form.
Music to me is it's just that you could mix anything you want together, and it's going to depend on what your audience understands in terms of that. But you can listen to Indian music uh, and not understand the word of it, but get the rhythms. You can sway whatever you do. So I think blues and a symphony orchestra are made for each other. I wouldn't think that if I didn't see it, but having seen it, um, it works. It works fine. It was a great idea that Eric and Howard had. We pushed it through, and here it is.
I mean,
Making a
it's
sense.
Grace. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask Eric if you had anything kind of to add to that.
I mean, look, it's a music is just another form of communication and connection, no different than the spoken language. And so we had kind of the unique idea to pair these two genres together that it's the sum of the parts, and the show itself is a great music experience. And then you've got we trace 100 years of this music evolution from kind of the humble roots in the Delta, which started out in slavery and then sharecroppers, and then kind of the first commercial effort was in the 1930s with folks like Robert Johnson and Son House and others. And then we provide this 100-year arc. Morgan does a phenomenal job kind of narrating this cinematically, and this is all recorded at our club. And then we have some great video storytelling. So this is as much entertainment as it is kind of the history and education of the culture of this music. And the response has been phenomenal. Starting in San Francisco, we had a chance to then perform in Chicago. We've been in Central Park and places like Nashville and Kansas City, and we're now super psyched to come to Louisville.
Well, we are super psyched to have you. Morgan, what can folks expect, from the performance? What sort of things do you hope that they learn listening to what you all have prepared?
Sure that the number one takeaway is going to be a unique and very pleasant experience. I'm sure of that pretty much. Uh, then there was this American history lesson, quote unquote, I think, maybe. So given all of that, I just think they're going to get their money's worth. And if the audience gets their money's worth, that's your hope.
Can you
Certainly
tell
mine.
can you tell me a little bit about where your particular passion for the blues comes from?
I don't have a particular passion for the blues.
Okay.
No, I like music, just about every kind of music. Just I don't cotton to opera. That's the only up and downs that I don't quite get.
Yeah.
And
Um,
that's the truth.
no, I hear you. Tell me a little bit about then how you kind of got involved with the club and with then bringing blues to this type of performance. What spurred you to do that?
My then partner and I don't know how many years ago, Eric, that's because he has a better mind than me. My then partner, Bill Luckett, and I were working on a building project. And across the street from where we were, we saw this couple of backpackers standing on the street. So Bill, being the person he was, went over to ask if they needed help. And they said, yeah, where can we hear some blues? We couldn't say. I mean, there were musicians there, but there was no guaranteed place for them to play. Somebody might be there one weekend and not the next weekend. So we decided, okay, that's enough of that. So we built Ground Zero.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you? Is there anything that you learned or took away?
I don't know. I was home. I'd been away from Mississippi for some years, doing some making up a career. So now I'm back, uh, and Bill and I hooked up over a business project, which was me building a house, and became close friends. And after that, I just sort of followed them around.
I know that the culture of the blues in the Mississippi Delta is a big part of this performance. Are
Hmm.
there some things that you hope people understand about that part of the country after listening to what you all have?
Well, I think people will understand that we've all come through uh, whatever hardships our culture had to go through to blend in here. Um, and this is sort of like just the story of.
Can you talk a little bit about the role, blues plays in that story? How it has changed the culture of the Delta?
I think if you didn't call it blues and you uh, put it in a different location, you'd call it gospel. Those two, they go together so well because they both do the same thing. A lot of expression of pain, loss, longing, you know, the blues. And that stems from, you know, oh Lord, hear my cry. Same thing.
Mm. Um, is there something that, strikes you about blues in today's day and age? What is the space and what is the purpose maybe that blues as a style serves in today's world compared to when it was being developed?
Like Eric says, it's communication. Um, and it's really basic to America's entire music line. So it doesn't die. It's not gonna like fade away no more than any other style of our music. You know, Ray Charles did country with an orchestral background, mind you. So it's not new, really.
Hmm.
It's just a new mix. It's like, let me just put a little cinnamon in this batter and see what happens. It
Well, it
was an
sounds
experiment that pays off.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys put just the right amount of cinnamon, the right amount of ingredients to get something really cool. You know, big picture, if either or both of y'all could share, maybe one message of why you would encourage people to come out to the performance if they have the opportunity.
Like I said, a unique and very pleasurable experience. People will pay for that all over the place. So, yeah, uh, I encourage you to come and have a unique experience and a very pleasant one, and with the possibility of learning a little bit more.
Eric, is there anything
Grace,
you add? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, look, as communities change and evolve, one of the things that I think this style of music, that what we've done is it appeals to a very broad audience. I mean, Louisville's got, deep music roots, like a lot of parts of, this region. And one of the benefits we're seeing is it's opening the ears and eyes to new listeners, maybe folks that haven't been to the symphony or are, ticket holders, but are not really exposed to the blues. So one of the things that we're doing is, again, we're coming to you if you can't make it down to Clarksdale to Ground Zero, but we're getting a lot of positive response from whether this is Nashville or San Francisco. New audiences are coming that maybe said, I've not spent much time at the Symphony Hall with Louisville Orchestra. This gives me an opportunity, or I didn't know much about the history of the blues. So yeah, I think it's a great blend of entertainment, a little bit of education. One of the things that we hope everyone will be is lively. So it was really fun to go to these concert halls, and you see a lot more movement in the crowd maybe than you might see for other performances, new audiences, and frankly, learn a little bit more about this region of America, which is so important from a connection standpoint.
Yeah. Well, I think lively is certainly what you guys will get from Teddy and his team down here. They do a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I think you're going to love our band. So we're bringing a 7-piece band from the Delta. These are incredible performers that, frankly, a lot of them are somewhat undiscovered, and this gives them that opportunity. I'm excited to experience the concert hall. I love the town of Louisville, and I think it should be a heck of a time. So hopefully we'll have a great showing.
I feel quite sure it will be. Am I leaving anything out that either of y'all would like to add or that you really want the audience to know?
I'm saying you've covered all the bases.
I think that. Well, are you gonna join us?
I hope so. I'm gonna try.
Okay. Have you ever been to a blues concert before?
I can't say that I have, so I can
What
imagine
about
it's a
a
very different one. But
okay symphony? They have symphony orchestra there.
symphony, yes, I've seen before. And Louisville's, I can say, is top notch. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah,
enjoyed that.
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you're kind of to your earlier question is what do we hope to achieve? I mean, look, if Grace McKenna can come out of this with having been to her first blues concert, I think that's a win. And then hopefully you'll become inspired and you'll come down to see us in the Delta, whether it's for killer New Year's Eve party or anniversary party in May. Um, we're hoping actually out of this to build partnerships on a long ongoing basis. So we have a music school across the street called the Delta Blues Museum. And we've had a number of symphonies express interest in having some type of enduring relationship where musicians can come down and learn the blues. So hopefully there is some partnerships that can come out of this far beyond the concert itself.
That's that very cool idea. I think to y'all's points, all forms of music can learn from each other, and I think that
Yeah.
sounds really, really interesting.
The one point that we did not yet discuss is we have formed a foundation called Ground Zero Arts Foundation. So the goal here is, since our city is so heavily indexed on it being tourism stop, the state of Mississippi has in fact sponsored us, as well as the city of Memphis and the community of Clarksdale itself. And so we recognize we got to take care of the artists. And so we have a foundation we've set up to help support things like education, healthcare, business planning. And so we, that is one of the benefits of what we're doing is exposure and hopefully create some support for them as well.
I love that. That's a great addition. Awesome, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate you both so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Talk to you, Grace.
Good to talk to
Have
you.
a good day.
You as well.
See ya.
We're looking forward to seeing y'all in a couple weeks.